Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video and yet another episode of my F1 2018 career mode. Today we are here for the Monaco Grand Prix for the first time in the McLaren car here, and as you can see the weather conditions are going to be very interesting. Rain on Sunday for the race, wet to dry race on the cards, and a dry qualifying. But if you guys did miss the last episode for the Spanish Grand Prix, then do check out that episode by clicking the card in the top right hand corner of your screen. Now as you can see for this race we arrived here with a double upgrade. Only one of the two have actually been successful, and that was for the rear downforce. The front downforce one has unfortunately failed on us, but that's not a problem. Hopefully we can try and get that sometime soon again on the car. But that one upgrade on the rear is going to change the way things are in the R&D chart a little bit. So let's jump into it. And as you can see, we are very close now to Mercedes to get in that 6th place in the table. And you could say there's a bit of a breakaway in the pack now. There's kind of the bottom 3 teams, and then McLaren all the way up to Sauber. And Sauber, speaking of which, bringing another upgrade this weekend and extending their lead at the top. They are really just incredible at R&D Sauber. They are so good. The last season and a half they've been absolutely untouchable. But as you can see, we are looking good, and we're definitely the most improved team of the season so far. So hopefully that can continue here this weekend, and that can mean something. You know, at Monaco, I want to try and perform here. We had a good race last time out in Spain, and I want to try and see if I can try and build on that and have a good start to the European season. We've got a podium in Spain, and if I could get another one here, that'd be fantastic. I mean, it's going to be really close. It's going to be super tough. You know, everyone's so closely matched in that top 6 battle, top 7 battle, and you know, getting that position is going to be really hard. But hopefully, if we can get a decent result here, that'd be great. I'd be really happy. And we're going to see how it goes. As you can see, qualifying though is underway here on Saturday, and I went for 3 runs on the Hypersoft. All 3 of those runs had 2 laps each, because around Monaco, there's, you know, the 18-minute qualifying is a lot of time to get a lot of laps done, and also because there's rain in the race tomorrow, we're not going to use these tyres to start the race on, so we can afford to really put them through their paces. Also, tyre wear is not that high around here, so you can afford to go on 2 runs and on the same set of tyres. So, like I said, we're going to go for 2 runs on each set of Hypers. So first of all, my first lap, as you can see here, already on the limit, is really pushing the track to see where, you know, where the grip is and see where we are in terms of, you know, confidence. Personally, I felt confident. The car felt really good in practice, and I felt really happy with it. The balance was there, the setup was there, and it's all about delivering the lap in itself on track. And as you can see, we go P5 on our first attempt. I kept on circulating my second lap here, and to be fair, it looked pretty good, but then we made a mistake, hit the inside wall, and we do get an invalidation on that second attempt, unfortunately, but we were on for an improvement. But now we're going to run on board for my best lap out of them all, and this was the first lap of my second run. So here we go, on board for turn 1, down to 4th gear, and then later on down to 3rd to get the front end rotation. Focus on your traction and exit speed, as that's going to help you all the way up the hill, as we now go into turn 4 at Massenet, the left-hander. Bring it in for a late apex, and then open up the right of turn 5 at Casino. Let the car tumble down the hill, and now brake for Mirabeau. Keep it nice and tight to the inside. Use first gear to rotate the front end if you need to, and then Lowe's hairpin, the slowest corner on the entire calendar, 40 kilometers an hour. First gear action through there, and a lot of patience is required through this section here as you end off at Portier. Get on the power as soon as possible. Traction absolutely sublime, and now through the tunnel, flat out through here. Brake at the 100-meter board on the right hand side, just after it, down to 3rd gear, and then later on down to 2nd to get the front end rotation. We get a little bit hot on the brakes there, missed the apex slightly, but still we keep on going through to back 5th gear, just about kissing the wall there on the right hand side. Flat out through the chicane, and now right-left combo for the second half of the swimming pool section, and now into Rascasse, down to 1st gear to really get that apex, and then on the power briefly before the final corner, Anthony knows, and then on the power one more time out the final corner. Flawless traction, keep it to the right-hand side, and we do go 3rd, only just shy of a pole position there. Look how close we are, 3rd place and less than half a tenth adrift. But then I went out for another attempt. As you can see, I kept on with my second lap, and then I clipped the inside wall at the Nouvelle chicane, and a shame because I was on for an improvement once again. That was my second lap on that same run, and once again the second lap doesn't seem to work. Then I went out on another set of Hypers, and this was my final one, the first of 2 time laps, and my first one just wasn't that good. You can see I'm 2 tenths down. Just didn't seem to improve. The lap was very scruffy, so I thought, okay, I'm going to go for one more lap here, and I'm going to try my absolute best. So I charge up the battery, get ready for the relaunch, but then loads of cars were leaving the pit lane here, and as you can see, I got a really good run through turn 1, absolutely perfect, up the hill, picking up the traction, and we actually get our delta back on positive. But then the traffic was there. Alonso was in front of me. I missed my apex at Massenet, and I thought to myself, right, okay, forget it. I'm not going to improve, because I knew Alonso I know how the AI work, and he would have got in my way anyway later on in the lap, so I pretty much knew that I was doomed the second I saw the AI leaving the pit lane, so that kind of distracted me. And yeah, pretty much that's going to be where it kind of ends for qualifying. To be fair, a good session, P5, I'm happy with it, the car was good, and I feel confident tomorrow. I think we can do something, especially on strategy. Leclerc takes pole, only just faster than Sebastian Vettel, super close between those two guys. Verstappen in third, we've got Ricciardo fourth, then we are obviously fifth, on leading the third row in front of Kimi Raikkonen, and then Hulkenberg on Sainz, the Renault fourth row, with Hamilton down in P9 there for Mercedes, and Ericsson in 10th in the second Sauber. My teammate Alonso only P11 there, but quite a mixed up grid. We start from P5, and the race tomorrow is going to start with some wet weather conditions, more specifically intermediate conditions, but in kind of a heavy rain phase. So let's see how it goes. It is now time, though, for round number 6 for the crown jewel in the calendar, the Monaco Grand Prix. Let's get into the race, guys.
It's got to be a relief to qualify that far up the grid. It didn't look like you put much time into practice today. Is there a reason?
Great! Well, that's everything.
A proper road race, and in the true meaning of the word. That was how Mr. Monaco, the late great Graham Hill, once described this iconic event. The cars we drive have come a long way in the intervening half-century, but still we race on those same public roads beside the Mediterranean Sea. There's no victory more coveted than that of the Monaco Grand Prix. We already see the lowest average speeds of the season here at the Circuit de Monaco, and they'll be even lower in the difficult conditions today. 19 corners make up this famous 2-mile track, and with the rain, it'll be even harder than usual to get that critical heat into the tyres. Don't be surprised if we see a safety car at some point during the Grand Prix. Anthony Davidson is alongside me as usual for the race today. Let's talk about Force India. We have a number of changes to the aerodynamic regulations this year, and the signs haven't looked good for them so far in terms of getting to grips with those changes.
There are a few downcast looks within the team this weekend. I think they've been hit fairly hard by the new regs. But this is only the first step down a long road of development, and even if they don't maximise their points today, there are plenty more up for grabs this season.
With that then, let's run through the grid order. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday puts him on pole, with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Ricciardo, Martinez and Raikkonen, Hulkenberg, Sainz, Hamilton and Marcus Ericsson, Alonso, Bottas, Kevin Magnussen and Perez, Grosjean, Ocon, Pierre Gasly and Brendan Hartley. Stroll and Sergei Sirotkin rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Right, here we are then, it's Monaco time, baby. We are P5 on the grid after an okay qualifying. I have to be honest, not my greatest one, too many mistakes. But having said that, P5 is still, it's possible to get a podium. I think it's achievable. We are very strong in the wet, and I know historically around here, whenever it's a wet race and I feel confident and I can push, I'm pretty damn quick around here. So I think we can make things happen. We're going to need a little bit of luck. Also, strategy is going to play a key part here because it's going to be a wet to dry race. And as you can see, fuel-wise, we've actually gone underneath the 39 laps. We've actually gone 38.5. So we're going to hopefully be light at the beginning. That will hopefully allow us to be aggressive and really attack the cars in front. And pretty much, for me, the target of this race is to get a podium at least. I really fancy my chances. Even though you can't, infamously overtake in Monaco, I'm going to try my best to make it happen. So with that being said, we're going to jump straight into it here at the Monaco Grand Prix. And let's see how things go, and let's try and score that podium. With that being said, it's race time. Right, here we go then. Let's get ready for the jewel in the crown of the F1 calendar. The lights are on and they are off. Away we go for Monaco here. Good start off the line. We get the jump on Ricciardo straight away. Going down the inside of turn 1. Ricciardo going around the outside, but we're going to just block him off. A little bit of a sideways there, a little bit of a tank slapper. But we are going to get in front of Ricciardo and make the jump early on and gain one position straight off the bat. Leclerc leads the way, which is a little bit annoying. He's probably, I was hoping for Vettel to be in front because we know how fast the Sauber is. Right now the spread is absolutely horrific. Probably heavy, heavy rain, like as in full wet tyre conditions at the minute. But for now, we're relegated to the intermediates. But so far P4, and that's all about staying focused, getting my head screwed on straight, and performing the best I can at Monaco. Yellow flag behind. I'm guessing that's just because everyone's going super slow. It's going to take a little bit of getting used to these conditions, and then hopefully we should be able to push come next lap. So let's get our head down and let's see if we can chase after that podium, which is definitely a lot more possible now, especially because Verstappen is the man in P3, so he's going to be much easier to overtake than Vettel or Leclerc when it comes to straight line speed. So this looks good so far. Now let's try and make it happen and make it count. A good start though on lap 1. Leclerc sets the pace, Vettel even faster. We go fastest out of everybody with a 23 dead. Strong lap. I'm starting to feel confident on these tyres already. Car feels good. I definitely feel like I could attack the racetrack. Rain apparently will improve in 10 to 15 minutes time, so we are going to be stuck with these conditions for a little while. Also, the key factor here in this race strategy wise is, do you go for another set of inters or do you go straight for the dries? That's also going to be a big factor. Depends when the dry weather arrives, realistically speaking. So let's see what happens. Well, for now, it looks like we definitely have some good pace here, and Leclerc seems to be struggling a little bit in the sub. Actually, Vettel and Verstappen and myself are all closing back up to him. But right now, we are the quickest of the bunch here, as I expected at Monaco. We're in the wet weather. I've definitely got good pace, so it's all about patience and trying to find my opportunities. Good run through the swimming pool here. Going in towards Raskas. We are going to be close to Verstappen. Can we find some traction on the exit? Not quite. Maybe out the final corner though. Good traction there. That's what I'm talking about. We're gaining no DRS, so we are going to have to try and get it done on track. Fast up at the Grand Prix. Verstappen runs a little bit deep into turn 1, but we can't find a way through just yet. Up the hill now. I'm starting to put the pressure on a little bit here. Giving Verstappen the old hurry up. Just going to be patient. That was my first attempt to have a look at Verstappen. There's so much spray at the minute, like I can barely see my front wing. And the road, when I get so close to Verstappen, it's hard to see the barriers as well. So this is really becoming a challenge, but we've definitely got good pace and I'm starting to really put the pressure on. So let's see what happens here. I think this won't take too long. I want to try and make this as quick as possible. I just need to try and time it right out the final corner. Okay, this time Verstappen doesn't have that good of a toe from Sebastian, so this could be the one. The exit wasn't as good that time around, it has to be said. Down towards turn 1. I'm also starting to burn up my ERS, I've got to be careful. In the dry, normally I can have a go around the outside of Massenet, which is this corner here, but in the wet I don't think we have that kind of grip ready to go on the outside, so yeah, we're just going to have to sit behind for now, but I think the opportunity will arrive. Great run through there. Going into Raskas, I'm going to be setting myself up quite nicely for a move on Verstappen. Now through the final corner. Picking up that traction. Come on. Let's go, let's go. Verstappen goes defensive. Gets his line a little bit wrong through turn 1. That's going to put me right on the back of him. Going up the hill. This is the closest I've been. We hit the wall there. Very lucky not to lose front wing. I'm all over the back of him. I just can't get the run. Into Mirabeau maybe. No, not quite. Oh, he runs deep. There you go. Verstappen under pressure makes the mistake. Finally, we get the opening that we needed. Verstappen under pressure, making the mistake into Mirabeau, and we are through into 3rd place. Finally, the pressure pays off. I was all over the back of him. He could see me, just literally, he could see pure orange in his mirrors. But finally, we've made the overtake. Now we've got some clean air, less spray, and then we can try and chase after Sebastian Vettel and Charles Leclerc, who neither of the two have really, stamped their authority on this race and have really pulled away. So we're definitely in the races here today. Right then, good pace, car's working great. We've opened up a gap behind. We set a purple lap as well, 22.2. Absolutely miles faster than anybody else as we go back up into hot lap mode. I've cruised up to Sebastian. Now it's time to try and make a move on the Ferrari, which will be a lot harder because we know the Ferrari is much quicker than the Red Bull on the straight. So this one's going to be a lot trickier to try and carve up unless Vettel makes again a mistake like Verstappen. We are so close to Sebastian here. Into Raskas, I'm going to try and set up a switchback. I could have gone for it there, but didn't have the momentum out the final corner though. Traction in 4th gear this time. It's not bad actually, we are close to Sebastian. Into turn 1, little switchback. There it is, that's what I'm talking about. Yes, we forced Vettel into a bit of a defensive line. He compromised himself and we've made the move. That's exactly what I'm talking about. First time of asking this time around, saving time and making the move efficiently. We are now P2 in the Monaco Grand Prix and we are hunting after the championship leader Charles Leclerc. This could be massive for our championship. I'm not saying we're going for the championship this season because the McLaren is a long way away. However, this would get us right in the mix after 6 races, after a bit of a poor start to the season, not scoring points at Baku, only scoring P10 at Bahrain. You know, that would really help us out. So let's see what happens. It's a long way to go. Still 30 laps to go, matter of fact. A long, long way to go in this race. But the conditions are also improving. The rain isn't coming down as much anymore. I think we're now in light rain conditions. So we're now pretty much counting down to the dry weather period. The track's getting quick. 7/10 up after sector 2. I'm absolutely flying, and this is in standard engine modes. I'm not even using hot lap because I'm trying to get the battery charged up again. And I'm also trying to get back on target with fuel, which isn't saving as much as I'd like. However, we are on target now to save fuel. And we're also now within range of attacking Charles Leclerc. 21.4. No one is touching that lap time. We are so fast around here. The McLaren is working supremely well. And dare I say, even better in these light rain conditions than in the heavy rain conditions. So it's all us at the minute. It's a papaya show here at Monaco, and the pressure begins to build now on Charles Leclerc in his home Grand Prix. Let's try and put some pressure under the young buck, you could say. I think Vettel might have front wing damage, maybe with when I passed him, because I think he did hit the wall on the left hand side here at turn 1. And I think it's costing him time, and I think he's a little bit slower than what he normally would be. But Leclerc has definitely picked up the pace there. He's way faster in these intermediate conditions than what he was in the heavy rain, but we're still faster than him. It's going to be a real challenge to pass Leclerc though, because he's going to really pull away on the straights and under acceleration. So it's either he makes a mistake or we're going to have to absolutely pull a worldly overtake out of somewhere, because this Sauber's the most well-rounded car on the grid. So we need to try and find something out of somewhere.
Understood, copy that.
Not sure why I offered that strategy, but we're going to stick with what we're doing at the minute. We are looking good here, and I'm starting to put the pressure on Leclerc a little bit. And also, if I do pit, I'm going to come out in that massive train of cars being led by Sebastian Vettel. So, no need to pit just yet. The car still feels good. I don't really want to look at my tyres. At the minute, everything feels good, so I'm quite happy to just keep going. I'm always so close through here, but there's no real place to overtake in this part of the track. Maybe Raskas, but I used to be able to do it in old F1 games, but this one not so much. We are close. In the dry, I would have gone down the inside there, but in the wet, I just don't have that confidence. But we are so close to Leclerc this time around. It's absolutely ridiculous. Not the best traction though. Tyres are not as fresh as they once were. But you know what? I'm quite happy to sit here, to be honest, because we're in the better position here when it comes to strategy. Because the second, the pit stops come into effect, whether it's another set of inters or straight out to dries, I'm going to be in the prime position for an undercut or an overcut. I feel confident either way, because I know over one lap I've got better pace, so I can just turn up the wick and have a very strong in-lap. So at the minute I'm quite happy to just sit behind Leclerc, to be fair, and just let the laps tick over. And then when it comes to strategy crunch time, we'll make something happen. Look how close we are. I could have passed Leclerc ages ago, but I'm just sitting behind waiting to see if he does anything strategically as we lock up into turn 1. But you can see I get so much better traction out of all the traction zones, but then he starts to really power away. You can see there on the second part of the straights, that Sauber Alfa Romeo is just so powerful. But either way, I'm happy. Like I said, we can just sit here. The rain is starting to go away around 5 to 10 minutes before the track dries up. So I reckon we're looking at lap 25 for a bit of a strategy change. Also, look at all that traffic we're catching up on the tunnel there. So that's going to be a game changer as well. Oh, Leclerc comes in. Interesting. That was my scheduled pit stop lap. So no real big surprises there. Let's see how far away the rain is.
Forecast is 5 or 10 more minutes of rain before it dries up.
Right, okay.
It does look like the best tyre for now.
So what we will do is, I think we're going to come in, because 5 to 10 minutes is still quite a way to go. But what we will do is we're going to push on here and try and go for the overcut. Also, the gap to Vettel is 19.6, so he's come out behind Leclerc, so that means we should be safe. So I'm just going to try and push the rest of this lap, maybe do one more, and see if I can really open up a gap here to Leclerc, and then pit in. Right, into the pit lane we go then. Let's try and make sure there's a strong entry. There we go, that's what I'm talking about. That was a good in-lap. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we've done enough. We shouldn't get held up either in the pit lane, which is good. So let's see if we've got enough juice and we can make this work. I need a super quick stop from the boys here. Come on, come on. There we go, 2.3. Did get let go slightly slower than normal, but here we go. It's going to be very close with Leclerc. Here he comes now on the pit straight. There he is. I think we haven't done enough. Leclerc through turn 1.
Fernando's in for his stop.
And no, Leclerc stays in front. It's unfortunate we didn't make it work. But again, we'll get another chance when the track dries up, so let's just stay patient. That was my opportunity. Wow, that was a big screen freeze. Jesus. Whew. Right. Let's try and use the lap traffic as well, and that might be a chance for us to make a move on Leclerc. Purple sector 2. Pressure starting to build on Leclerc as we get very close. I really want that move down the inside of Raskas, but I just can't get the confidence to go down the inside. Through the far corner though. Not the best traction either. Too far back, cars leaving the pit lane here. Oh, that was interesting. Leclerc locks up, there's the mistake. The lap traffic coming into play. Ericsson really kind of ruined his line through there. Oh, another screen freeze, that was close to the wall. But we are into the lead of the Monaco Grand Prix. Now we've got to try and slice our way through all this traffic. Look at where we are at the minute. This is so awkward. Blue flags everywhere for all these guys, but where do you move? Hopefully a couple of them get out of the way in the tunnel. And this is where we'll start to open up a gap to Leclerc now with all this lap traffic. Let's see how this one pans out, but I've got to be careful here. Front wings are precious at Monaco, so I don't want to make any mistakes. These laps are important. Hartley moves out of the way, thank you very much. And Hartley's going to slot in behind me, so there you go. Leclerc wasn't close enough, so he can't get past Hartley. So he's now stuck behind him for a little while as we continue on to make our way through these lap cars. Right, there we go. Grosjean now, hopefully, moves out of the way. And now Sirotkin, hopefully he follows suit as well in the Williams. Up the hill preferably, if he can just get to one side. Please, there we go. Stay out of the way, Sirotkin, thank you. And there we go, we've cleared most of the traffic now. Whereas Leclerc still hasn't even cleared Hartley yet. And dare I say, I think he's kind of got caught up there a little bit. Leclerc's lost some time. Either way, we're starting to open up a gap now. As we set a purple sector 1, only 3 more cars to clear traffic wise, and we'll be in clean air for the rest of the race.
New strategy is available on the MFD.
Oh, okay.
Okay, copy that.
Okay, so we've been told to come in for the dry tyres this lap. Seems a little bit early, so I'm going to wait. I'm going to, you know, Leclerc's not a threat at the minute because there's so much traffic to get through, and the track still seems pretty wet, so I'm going to reserve judgment on that and wait until DRS does get enabled on screen. Okay, and then Ocon moves out the way. Good stuff. Up next, Lance Stroll in the other Williams. I don't think he's going to get out of the way here. I think I'm too far behind, so we're going to have to try and pass him probably in the tunnel. Or not, he gets out of the way of Mirabeau. Kind of, not the best way to get out of the way, as he's right on the apex, but we still get past with the purple first sector in the process. So there we go, we've cleared the traffic. Good stuff, let's keep going. Track's nowhere near ready for dries yet. I don't know why I've been asked so early to come in for the ultras. Romain Grosjean out of the race in the Haas. First retirement as we set a purple lap. The rain has now stopped officially on track. It's just spray on the tyres. And I think Leclerc might have come into the pit lane. I'm not sure. We'll find out. Okay, no, I think he has because they would have changed tyres by now. So it's getting close. It is getting close to the dry tyres now. I'm still going to wait until DRS gets enabled. Another purple lap into the very low 21s now. Starting to push the 1 minute 20s. Track's starting to get really dry as well. You can feel on these inters that if the track gets much drier, these ain't going to hold on for much longer because they're kind of losing grip mid-corner if you rotate too much. So just waiting at the minute. Patience. No need to rush into anything stupid. I want to win this race, so let's just take our time. And there we go. We should clear Perez. That's it. So we're now free of back markers. Nice clean track in front of us. Clean air. And now we can literally just focus on transitioning over to dry tyres. I could go hyper softs, but I'm probably going to go ultra softs because I don't want to risk getting into overheating. The hypers can overheat very easily. Even like since the patch, I know for a fact people overheat their tyres around here, even if they don't have the tyre glitch. So I'm just going to play it safe and go ultras a little bit harder, so it's a little bit harder to overheat. And I still have good pace in those tyres, and also the gap we've got to Leclerc is only getting bigger, so we should be okay on those in my opinion. Okay, DRS enabled, there we go. It's time.
Got that confirmed.
So we are going to pit in this lap. We're going to select the pit stop. The track does look ready for dryers now, I must admit. So we are going to pit in. Let's not make any mistakes, take it nice and easy. The track's going to be very delicate at first on the ultras, so we've got to be careful. Into the pit lane we go. Hopefully no hold-ups. Right. Very good race so far. Everything's worked out to perfection. We shouldn't get held up here either, I think. We should be fine. Perez shouldn't be an issue. And no cars further back. So here we go. Nice easy stop, please. Southern mechanics out for Leclerc, so it looks like the track is ready for the dry tyres. Onto a set of medium tyres we go. Or should I say, sorry, ultra softs. I was thinking of something else. Getting distracted there, but we rejoin the track. Let's see what the track feels like. Got some marbles, got to be careful with those. And the track feels good at first. Traction would seem pretty good there. Let's see through Massenet. A little bit slippery, a little bit lack of grip at the minute, just got to be careful. But there's definitely a grip there. And I think we've transitioned quite nicely, so this is good. Leclerc's following me, I'm surprised. I thought Leclerc would have gone for the hypers, considering he always goes quite aggressive on tyre strategy, but he goes for the ultra, so fair play. That's going to make it a little bit easier for me. So yeah, let's try and bring this home. Siri, not now, mate. Cheers. Purple lap, even coming out the pit lane, so that kind of tells you it's ready for dry tyres. Let's bring this one home now. 10 laps to go. Shouldn't be much of a challenge here. Let's just cruise to the finish. No need to run higher engine modes. Let's just keep things nice and safe. Lap times are going to tumble, so it's going to be purple lap after purple lap. Everyone's going purple at the minute, as you'd expect. So yeah, pretty much a straightforward race. Now let's hope for no more dramas and let's win it. Good thing we passed Leclerc when we did, because right now we're very evenly matched in the dry conditions. We're exchanging purple laps at the minute, as we have a yellow flag there at the Nouvelle chicane. At least a brief one, nonetheless. There you can see Leclerc a little bit faster than me. Very closely matched. Here we are then. Last lap of the race down at the harbour. The sun has graced us with its presence for the remaining part of the Grand Prix. For a beautiful sunny Monaco setting here to close off the race. Blue flags for Hartley. It's not going to matter too much though. Here we go through the final two corners. Let's bring this one home. And our first race win of the season is going to come at the Monaco Grand Prix. Get in, baby. There it is. Big 25 points. And that gets us right up the table. And that is the start of our season right there. Big result.
So, another fantastic victory for McLaren today. And I have to wonder, Anthony Davidson, just what set them apart from the competition here.
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
Our drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be McLaren picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance.
It doesn't get much better than a win at this track, does it? You were cutting your way through the field during the race. Another podium. You must be getting used to it up there. Things looked close between you and your rival for a bit, but you came out on top, didn't you?
Great. Well, that's everything.
Right, so there we have it then, guys. We win the Monaco Grand Prix, our first win of the season, and I believe our second podium. I think we got a podium in Spain, so our second podium of the season. We beat Charles Leclerc to the line in his home race. Ultimately, we dominated. It was a dominant victory. You can see the gaps in the people behind. With the exception of Leclerc, nobody was close to us here today. Maybe Raikkonen, but I mean, it literally was me versus Leclerc, and I smoked him. So, yeah, we win at Monaco. Leclerc second, Raikkonen third, and then we've got Ricciardo, Verstappen, Bottas, Sainz, Sebastian Vettel down in 8th, Kevin Magnussen, and the final point goes to my teammate Fernando Alonso, Gasly, Hulkenberg, Hamilton, Perez, Stroll, Ocon, and also Ericsson, Sirotkin, and Hartley all miss out on points, with Romain Grosjean the sole DNF of the Grand Prix. In terms of what this race means for the Drivers' Championship, though, Leclerc leads by 27 points over the newly second place man, Kimi Raikkonen. Ricciardo drops to third, and we jump up to 5th place with that race win, only 5 points behind Sebastian Vettel. So all in all, things look pretty damn good in the drivers. But what about the constructors? Well, there you go. We jump up to 4th place. And my points tally combined with Alonso gives us 4th place, overtaking the bananas of the Renault. And Mercedes still down at P6. They're trying to recover the defending Constructors Champions, but they're still a long way away from any sort of decent form. But all things considered, guys, that was a very good race for us. Probably the race of the season so far. And very happy with the performance. Everything was absolutely perfect. Considering we started the race from P5, that was pretty well executed. So with that being said, that is going to wrap things up for the Monaco Grand Prix. And if you guys did enjoy this episode of Career Mode, then please do drop a like. Also, do get subscribed for daily Formula 1 content and turn on notifications to not miss a single upload from me. Finally, check out these 2 videos on your screen if you have missed them. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of Career Mode. And I'll see you in my next one very soon. But until then, it's goodbye from me.